mess here. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Hey, Linda, how you doing? I see you're logged in or have logged into the P+P site already. Awesome. Love that.
I don't do it when it first comes about, it doesn't happen.
Yep, same. Sometimes that checklist gets really long, and if I don't get to things on it right away, same.
Don't look away, it's gone.
Exactly. Hey, Sarah, how are you? I'm gonna change my view. There we go. I was not in gallery mode, so I couldn't see everyone. Hey, Mitch.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy.
It's
Give
going to
everyone-
sort of be in listen only mode, but
That's okay. Yeah, except for I call you out. I'm like, what's up, Mitch? Welcome, everyone. I know we are about a minute in already, so, and I know that we also have, or again, we have about 29 minutes with you at this point with the membership call immediately following. So I want to be respectful of everyone's time and try to give you as much information as possible at this stage. I know we had a few topics that were brought up on the last meeting. I'm not going to get too in depth on those because really I wanted to, with this being the, what are we at, Thursday? The Thursday before P+P, I really wanted to just kind of dig into P+P a little bit with everyone and show you, if you've not logged in, if you've not registered, shame on you. If you've not registered, I wanted to at least show you the platform for those of you that maybe haven't seen it and to walk a little bit through navigating it and what it will look like, what the experience will look like, talk through that a little bit. And then when we have some time towards the end, we can hopefully open it up to questions, comments, concerns, and take it from there. How does that sound for everyone that I can see? Fantastic. Okay. Then I'm going to share my screen and we'll walk you through the Performance Plus Purpose platform, which is a lot of P's just now. All right, can everyone see that? Okay. Fantastic. So we changed things up a little bit this year. Historically, we used what is called CVent. If anyone's familiar or has leveraged CVent from a registration perspective, we were using it the past couple of events. We used it for our congressional conference this year. We used CVent for P+P last year. It's a little bit more of a basic platform, so we upgraded our platform to allow for a better user experience this year. One of the things that everyone would have received or should have received if you have registered for the conference, you should have received an introductory email last night. That's going to have just the welcome information. It'll give you the link to the website in particular. It'll also give you your unique access code. So we locked it down so that we can make sure that the right people who actually registered and paid were participating. So we do have an access code that's individual to each of you. If you didn't receive the email, feel free to shoot me a note afterwards. If you didn't register, there's still time to register. So please make sure you do that if that's the case. I see some questions coming through, so I just want to make sure. Yep, thanks, Justy. You're the best. So with Performance Plus Purpose, we always start our virtual events out with our NAFA virtual code of conduct. Again, it's there to protect not only you, it's there to protect the interest of everyone. If anyone starts to get a little bit lippy in the event itself, that gives us the right and the opportunity to say, hang on a second, we're all professionals, let's play nice. So this is the main screen most everyone will see when they first log in, is the code of conduct. It is simply a click to continue. That's basically accepting that you recognized it, you see it. From the code of conduct, it's actually going to take you into a personal profile. So it will take about 5 to 10 minutes to complete this. The profile is there for you to put as much information as you would like. There's some basic required information that we do request that goes into it, but it is again for the sole purpose of networking. When we're in a virtual environment, the more information we put out there, the better the networking experience will be, because it gives you an opportunity to meet like-minded people in a virtual platform. We have to be a little bit more mindful when in a virtual space, because it's not as organic as if I walked up to you, Mitch, and on the street and started talking to you. I have to look for you. I have to reach out to you. I have to communicate and network with you. So it's a little bit of a different experience. But there's a few required fields. So your name is obviously required. We do ask for some basic professional information, which is just title and your organization. This does not feed back into our platform, our association management system. This is simply information you put out there to say who you are, who is attending, who you are. We do ask that you select your time zone. What's nice about this platform is that it customizes it to your time zone. So if you are not Eastern time zone, like the rest of us or a lot of us right now, it gives you a chance to switch it so that you can see the timing for what's for your local area. So you can select display times in my time zone, and then you can actually select your individual time zone, or you can just leave it as display times in the event time zone, whatever makes more sense to you, what's more comfortable. But we do require that. The rest is just contact information as you see fit, if you want to put it in there. So if you want to put, if you've got a blog, congratulations. If you want to put your blog in there, your LinkedIn page itself. So it says handle, it is really your individual LinkedIn page. So when you go to your LinkedIn profile, copy the URL at the top, put it right in there. Same thing for Facebook, Twitter, if you have any of those that you want to display. It's a way, again, for people to connect with you outside of the virtual event too, in your website. So put as much information, as little information as you want. There's just a few fields that are required. When you click on save and continue, we give you the opportunity to put in a photo. There is a size limitation on this. So there's a minimum width of 400 pixels. So as much as we'd love to put that super high definition, amazing photo of ourselves in here, there's a pixel limitation, and you might get a little frustrated. It's not to discourage you to still put a picture in, because we really, really encourage that, but it's not required. We're not going to force you to do it. Like I said, there's just a size limitation, so be aware of that. And then what I consider the fun part for me personally is that we give you the option to pick ribbons. We have virtual ribbons. We know we love our ribbons. You can pick from 2 professional ribbons. So these are your traditional NAFA ribbons that we see at our events. If you're alumni, if you are a president, if you are a PAC donor, all of those are in there so that you can make those personal selections who you are within NAFA. So similar to what we would have done in person. Then we added some fun ribbons, and that was really more for my entertainment. But we added some fun ribbons in here so that you can select things like, I'm an avid angler, I'm a coffee connoisseur, I'm a dog lover, things like that, just to make it a little entertaining and fun for all of us to see who's who and how we do these things. As you can see, with it being less than a week out, I'm 3% human and 97% stress right now. So that's one of my personal ribbons. But from there, you can click on your networking options. So this is up to you. Again, if you'd like to share your profile with your attendees, you can certainly do that. If you'd like to share your favorites, and I'll point out what the favorites are in just a couple minutes, you can do that as well. And the favorites are going to be things that you select to make it your own adventure with this event. We also have an elevator pitch. This is when you share your profile, the elevator pitch is also displayed publicly. So I share all that with you to just let you know that if you want to share your profile, but be really snarky in the elevator pitch, people will see it. People will see it. And so I don't want anyone to be embarrassed by anything they put out there. But you can choose, it's not required. You can choose to put something in there just to tell a little bit more about why you're here, what you're excited about or not. We try to make it as easy as possible for you all. All right, so when all that is done, save and finish. It's going to take you first to your My Experience page itself. So this My Experience page, again, gets you right back to your profile if you want to make any changes. If you regretted what you just said on those 2 questions and you want to change it because people can see it, you can go right back in here to your profile. Or you can go into your schedule. And the schedule, when you say My Schedule, that is what you have personally chosen. That is what you want to participate in, that you're interested in. You're not beholden to it. It's just a very quick and easy place for you to find those courses, or not courses, find that actual breakout sessions or keynote or whatever else that you wanted to put into your schedule. And then the same thing with My Networking. If there's individuals that you're like, I want to get to know that person, or they had the same dog lover ribbon as me, I want to meet them, get to know them. You can actually favorite attendees, and you can then go back and you can have individual conversations with them. You can send them a message. You can connect with them that way. It's great. Then we also have just some basic FAQs for everyone. So what time zone? Are there any networking events? What's coming up? So basic frequently asked questions are in this. And it gives you a chance to kind of go back and through that. So back into my experience, if you're not sure if your system can actually withstand anything, you can do a quick system check. It tests the speed of your computer, and if you need any technical support, that's one of the areas that they'll most likely ask you to go do to see if there's any connectivity issues. But speaking of technical support, we actually have two different means of technical support. If it's attendee questions, if it's about the conference itself, if it's about a session information, if it's about membership, that's going to be our membership experience team. That's the 877 number that we're all familiar with, and the info@nefa.org. If it is, I'm having a technical problem and I can't figure this out with this platform, that is going to be the actual technical support with our platform provider. So they have hours 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., which is plenty of time since we go 12 to 3 minus the happy hours. Or you can submit a support ticket if it's not urgent, if it's not an urgent need. So just be aware that help is on the way, help is available to you if you run into any stickiness or any problems at all. So I'm going to jump up to the attendees. So this is, again, here's the fun part. Here's where you start to see people who have selected their ribbons. I'm going to pick on Eddie here for a minute because you can see what Eddie put as far as his responses to those two questions, who he is. He didn't put any fun ribbons on, unfortunately, but maybe in the future he will. But you can see that Eddie has logged in today. You can actually message him if you want to communicate directly with Eddie. So it's a great way. Again, you can make him a favorite, and that'll go up into your favorites. You can see the little stars on the right is how you favorite people. If you want to see, as I mentioned, the coffee connoisseurs out there, if you want to see who else selected those types of ribbons, you can see those members that are, or those attendees that have selected that. And again, if you'd like to connect with them individually, you can click on their profile, you can reach out and send them a message, and you can make network connections that way. So let me take you to the main home screen. I know we were kind of going back and forth with that. So after the My Experience, if you click on the home button, this is our main hub. This is the home page. This is where all the magic.
To continue.
Oh, there we go. I was like, not sure who that was. This is where all the magic happens. This is where you will have multiple points of entry to make it as easy as possible to get to the actual sessions themselves. So one thing that is different this year is that the majority of the program itself is being live streamed in this platform. So what I mean by that, you're not going to have to jump back and forth to different Zoom links or, do all of those different things like we've done in the past. This way, you can actually just go to the actual session in the schedule. And when you click on it, 5 minutes before it's supposed to kick off, a live stream link will come up, and you can click on that and go directly into the live stream, where they'll both be a discussion board for communicating, because we know we love to chat. We love to chat. The discussion board for that, but also a Q&A opportunity. So if you want to ask a question to any of the breakout room speakers, or if you want to throw a question in for any of our keynotes as well, we'll do our best to get those answered. But you have the opportunity to do that and certainly communicate with others. So I won't show you the video if you haven't seen it yet, but if you click on the Welcome to 2021 Performance Plus Purpose, there is a welcome message from our conference chair, Larry Holzberg, who's been chairing and kind of leading the charge on where we go with the event this year, which has been great. You can network with the attendees. So there's a left-hand navigation and again, the tile screens. The network with attendees also takes you to the attendees link here on the left. So again, very easy to see who's who and who's coming and make those connections. With the Meet Our Keynote Speakers, this is just to kind of highlight who is speaking for us this year. So we have an MC that's actually going to be our face. So that's Rob Foray. He's going to be our face throughout the entire conference. He's going to be kicking us off. He's going to be hyping it up. He's very fun. He's going to run our games. He's going to run some music for us. So we're super excited to have Rob as part of the program and just kind of leading the charge with that. He's also our Lily keynote, our Lily 7 keynote. So for any of you that did register for the Lily 7 special ticket event at the end of the conference, Rob is going to be presenting for us during that session. And then we have our 3 main keynote speakers, Dana Carino, Holly Hoffman, and Jason Hewlett. All of these are live. So they'll be interacting, they'll be fun, they'll be looking for questions. So it's a great opportunity, again, just to participate. So let me take you back to the home screen real quick. Then we also have the page with all of our sponsors. All of these are clickable links, but you can see who has been participating and who's sponsoring the event this year. And then we tried to, again, make it as easy as possible. So we even broke it down further from the main schedule, which is here, the full schedule on the left navigation. We've also broken it down by days. So if you want to just see what's on day 1, what's on day 2, what's on day 3, or even further from that, I just want to go by track. I want to see what the tracks are. So we have practice management, we have a technology track, we have advanced practices, and we have sales and prospecting. So our breakout sessions fall into those 4 buckets, just so that you're all aware. Our keynotes stay much more on the motivational leadership level. The breakouts are where we get into the nitty-gritty of the topics. And then last but not least, our happy hours and our special events. So we do have our IFAPAC happy hour that kicks things off. This is a members only event. So we do have, I think we have some non-members that are participating. They will not unfortunately be able to participate in this event unless they become members. That is locked down. The YAT happy hour, put that away. The YAT happy hour is actually open to all. So that is for anyone. We're going to have games, we'll have prizes. That'll be a lot of fun. It's a great way then to actually network with people. These are being hosted as Zoom meeting rooms. So like this meeting, you will actually be able to interact a little bit more and have a little bit more freedom of movement from that. So these are our few Zoom events that we do have. And then finally, our Lily 7 special workshop. Again, if you've not purchased a ticket to that, I would encourage you to as part of your registration process. It's going to be a great event. We have a great keynote speaker with Rob, and he's going to share a really great message that aligns well with our Lily group. I guess the last thing I really wanted to point out, so for our members, we do have our IFAPAC donors listed, and that's up until July 27th, all the donations and where they land in the donors. So if it's capital, if it's platinum, gold, silver, bronze, these are all listed out. We wanted to make sure we showed love to all of our IFAPAC donors and listed them individually. But the other cool feature that we have is an IFAPAC booth. That is a Zoom room. Let me be very clear about it. But it is a Zoom room that is being hosted by our PAC committee members and our staff. And that is there for anyone who has questions about their donation, who'd like to make more of a donation, who'd like to just network and talk about things, or talk about some of the advocacy issues. That IFAPAC booth is there similar to what it would have been in person. It is there in the virtual space so that you can engage and have some conversations with folks. And then I did want to point out one other thing. So, well, 2 other things, because it's always what else, Elena. So right now, what you're seeing on this home screen is not the full event. And that's on purpose, because we wanted to first give you all the experience to log in, because like I said, that profile setup takes 5 to 10 minutes. So don't wait until 11:55 before the event starts Eastern time, but wanted to get everyone familiarized with the platform, let you play around in it, let you kind of like touch, feel, get used to where things are located. But there are going to be, in addition to our breakout rooms, in addition to our keynotes, we have a whole series of on-demand videos that we're calling our NAFA Education Talks, or our NED Talks. We kind of stole that if you can't tell. So our NED Talks. We also have product demonstrations that we've received from several different sponsors. All of that is on-demand video footage that's going to be there. And then we have a musical challenge with Rob. So on a daily basis during the break times, you can actually jump into a Zoom room with Rob Foray, our MC, and you can do a musical challenge, and it will follow a theme each day. So we'll all test out our musical knowledge at that point in time. And then last but not least, when our brains get so much information, like on this call, when our brains get so much information, it becomes overwhelming and it overloads us a little bit. So we purposefully have added some meditation moments in there. And again, they're pre-recorded on-demand videos. Yes, exactly, Artem, very Zen. They're Zen moments. They're there just to give you a brain break, is what I call it, just to kind of take a deep breath. You can participate in them if you want, or you can do any of the product demos. You can do the NED Talks. You can do the musical challenge with Rob, or you can take that break time and answer phone calls or emails or whatever you need to do in your own time. But we just wanted you all to know that these extra activities are there and they're available to you so that you can experience a more robust event than, since it's virtual, than you would be getting if you were in person. So those will all be tiles on here as well. They will come up, but they won't come up until 30 minutes before we kick off on Tuesday purposefully. They won't come up until then. So you will also get a sneak peek of our 2022 location. We do have a welcome video that is going to be part of this as well. And our conference evaluation will kick off. You'll see the link post at that point as time as well, so that you can start evaluating the conference itself, start letting us know, giving us some feedback on overall. We can improve, we can't do this better if we don't get feedback. So I always put that out there is please, please, please be honest, be upfront, but be kind, because then we can improve what we do in the future and how we do it and make sure it's a great experience for all. How this will fall, let me just show you the full schedule real quick. So you will have our kickoff at noon, and we will have some hype up moment with Rob. He'll go over some early conversation. He'll go over some housekeeping notes. He'll get us excited and jazzed up for our keynote. And then we kick off into our keynote presentation each day. So this is a wash, rinse, repeat. It is the same schedule each day with different educational offerings. And then Rob will take us through right after the keynote how to select your experiential activities. So those are those 4 things I just talked about. The brain breaks is what I call them. So in this schedule is where you can also find them. You won't find them right now because I hid them until Tuesday next week, remember. But you'll be able to participate in the musical challenge with Rob. For those of you that purchased the VIP book signing, so that was again a ticketed item, then you'll actually be able to jump in a Zoom meeting with Dana Perino and have one-on-one conversation with her like this, and have an opportunity for her to sign and dedicate a book to you. If you participated in this in P+P last year, you're pretty familiar with the process and what it's going to look like. But for those of you who haven't, we have an amazing team that is, so Brendan and Artem and Jess, who's not on this call, understand the process fully. They have walked through it, and they make it a really, really cool experience for you. Stop shaking your head, Artem. They make it a really cool experience for anyone who wants to engage with the keynote presenter. From there, you can also click on all the different breakout rooms themselves. Like I said, these are all tagged by tracks so that you can select them by track if you want to. But easy peasy, I know I'm going to want to go to that one. I may want to go to that one. You can select. You can jump in and out of rooms too. So if you see, I'm going to our variable annuities a better choice, and I get into that and I'm like, nope, not for me. That's not it. You can come back out to this main page and go to any one of these other presentations at that moment. You're not locked in. So feel free to jump around if you'd like. The breakout room sessions are meant to be engaging as well. So there'll be content that is delivered, and there'll be lots of time at the end for Q&A to actually ask questions of the presenters. We'll have moderators that are available in every single room, hosting to take your questions, to ask them to the presenters as well, and to make sure it stays very, very engaging. And like I said, so we have keynote, we have 25 minutes for experiential activities. We've got our breakout sessions. Then we give you a shorter amount of time, but still some time to do experiential activities, give you a little bit more of a break before we go into our closing comments. So I always encourage people, because the first question I get is, why on earth have closing comments in a virtual session? No one's going to go to it. No one's going to go. Well, you know what? There's prizes that we're giving away, and you have to be present to win. So, haha, I win. So closing comments will set you up for wrapping up the day, kind of a recap of what we learned, what we did, what to expect for the happy hours those evenings, what to expect for the program and the next day itself. So just wanted to share that out there with the group to make sure that you are all aware that it's important to come back for the closing comments, because you can also win something. And then, as I mentioned before, those happy hours are on the main tile screen. So when you go back, I almost got lost on this. When you go back, you'll be able to access the happy hours at the evening time, Eastern time, that they are designated for. And as long as you're a member and like to have fun, you can come to the IFPAC happy hour on the first day. So I just took up pretty much all the time, but I wanted to stop for a second and see if there's any questions from the group. This is the part where you run to register. No?
Elena, the one cool thing about the registration, I don't know if you didn't really mention it, but if any of you are planning on going to next year's P+P Live, I highly recommend putting the down payment for the deposit. because you'll save also 10% off your registration. So we all are looking ways to save money through our budgets, whether it's through the boards, through the staff level or anything. This is just one way to get money saved for your entire staff, especially if you're going into budget planning within the next month or two, as most states typically do. So my 2 cents.
Thanks. That's perfect. That's something good to remind the members in your area as well who may not have registered yet, is that if they are interested in participating in P+P next year, if they want to be in person with us when we hold that event, now is a great time to go ahead and register for this one. Do the early, we'll call it early bird, but do the deposit. It's a $99 deposit to secure your space for next year and gives a 10% off registration for next year. So it's a good little incentive. Who doesn't like a deal? What else? Any questions?
Elena, if I could make a comment.
Sure.
For the past couple of months, we have been intensively recording breakout sessions under one of four. Well, there's 4 different practice tracks that you can choose for each of the day's breakout sessions, but the quality of speakers that we've been able to generate on these has just been phenomenal. So I think the keynotes are awesome. They're outstanding. Come for the keynotes, but I think you're really going to find a real pot of gold with breakouts as well. We have a lady named Yael Lazar. She's an attorney, and she's an expert on cryptocurrency. And I mean, I can't turn on the financial news in any given day without a constant stream of cryptocurrency. So if you want to learn how it works, what it is, and the tax implications as well, you and your members would really benefit from that, among many other breakouts. So shameless plug, hope to see you there as well at breakouts.
That's awesome. Thank you. So one thing, I know we've got 4 minutes left. One thing I wanted to point out, so there was a few questions from last month that we met that we obviously won't have as much time to dig into right now. One was about hybrid event planning. I would love to get into that conversation this next time as well. So next month, we'll talk about hybrid event planning. What does it entail? What does it look like from a budgetary perspective? What are some of the challenges and the things that you have to plan and consider? One of the other questions was engaging the unengaged. So how do we get chapter members to participate in our programs and our events who traditionally wouldn't have gone or who don't typically go? How do we start bringing in the fold a little bit more? So I think, unfortunately, in the 3 minutes we have left, we won't be able to dig into that, but I would love for this group to think about at your chapter level, what have you done? Because I think this is a great opportunity in this setting for us to swap stories, to say, well, this is what we tried. This is what our successes were with it. These are our challenges, because that's kind of the intent of this group is let's share best practices. Let's share ideas. Let's talk about not only what National's doing, but what are the chapters doing so that we can kind of continue to uplift each other, that we know what's going on out there in the industry, and even see if there's an opportunity to beg, borrow, steal some of the ideas and leverage it for your own chapters to create an even better experience for the members in that area. But the one thing I did want to talk about real quick was there was a question about technology usage, and I'm going to shameless plug myself. There's a whole tech panel and not panel, what am I thinking? There's a whole tech panel, but a tech track, that's the word that was escaping me, at P+P. So when you're thinking about how do we use technology? How do our members want to use technology? What are the technology that is good for them? What are things that they can apply directly into their practice? How can they add an additional zero to the end of their paychecks using technology? We got a track for that. We have an entire track for that. So I would encourage your folks to be participating, and then you as well if you can. But we can talk more about tech on the next call. 1 minute. Any questions? So I can let you all get over to the membership call. Justy, good point. We'll have more time next month as the membership chairs meeting moves back to Fridays. Yay, you get more time with us. Comments, concerns, questions?
Au revoir.
Au revoir. All right, thank you all. As always, thank you for your time and your energy and your efforts. We appreciate all of you, and we look forward to talking to you again next month.